Hi guys, back again with me Austin from Avoid Hut. Today I'm going to share to you my experience on Hasbro's Marvel Legends Series 4-inch scale, the Collector's Vault box set. Now this is an SDCC 2016 exclusive, and without further ado, let's take a look at the packaging. Okay, and this packaging, as usual, for an SDCC exclusive, one of the appealing points or special points about this is the style of the packaging. Marvel Legends on top there, and the cool artwork which displays all the characters in the figures. We have the collectors, Howard, Moonboy, Cosmo, and Lockjaw. And then the name down there, and Hasbro over here. It's quite huge for this box set, I mean for this scale of the figure. So alright, let's open it up like this, and it shows how the figure is placed in the box. And just as the name suggests, the packaging actually take the inspiration from how the collectors place his prize collections. You see Moonboy, Howard, Lockjaw, and all this kind of artifacts, I guess, which we'll see in more detail. And Cosmo is to display it in such a way that mimics the collector's vault, basically. Now, if we just take a bit of time to see on this side, oops, it's quite big for my set, sorry about that. So I'll just scroll over to each one of it on the left here, and you can pause to read it by yourself. There's a bit of bio on each one of the characters. Marvel's the collector here. Alright, very interesting. Most impressive museum, nothing much actually. Howard the Dog. So it's kind of the storytelling of the collectors to explain each one of the characters. So okay, Howard the Duck, the detective. Lockjaw, average, gigantic, teleporting inhuman, which is true. And down here we have one of Watum, controlled by the powers of the mind. Not sure what's this, but we have that. Casket of Ancient Winters. So it's not all figures, but we do have like artifacts. Frost Giants, blah blah blah, not sure. Zodiac Key to the Universe. Oh. And then we have Cosmo, certified relic of the Soviet space program. Now, if you know Guardians of the Galaxy, then you're probably familiar with the character. And lastly, Marvel's Moonboy. I'm not sure about this guy. I just read a bit that he's actually from another dimension. It's not Earth 616, but Earth something, 1000 something. But at some point, he basically came to Earth 616, basically. So it's cool. It's a very cool packaging. Let's take a look at the back. It's quite huge, so please bear with me. Nothing much on the side. It's the same artwork, but at the back we have the pictures. Oops, the pictures of the figures lined up. Okay, so again, Howard, Moonboys, Lockjaw, the collectors, and Cosmo. Alright, so without further ado, let's take a closer look to each one of these figures, shall we? Alright, now since there are a few things that need to be covered, I hope I can do it very quickly. Well, let's start from the less movable one to the most movable one. Okay, so let's start with the artifact first. This is let me check. This is the Zodiac Key, and boy, it's so rubbery, it feels like a bubble gum. Oh, yeah, it looks like a gum to me. Anyway, it's just painted all green, super rubbery, And however, if you look at closely, there's a lot of textures and molded details there. So that's the only thing that I can appreciate from this, pretty much on both sides. Okay. Alright, next is the maybe this first, the Wand of Watum, which is, I think somewhat is rubbery but not super elastic though. Not sure what it does. It's nothing much really. It's just a bit of molded details. I mean the two heads here. Alright. And it's okay, I guess. Nothing much really. Nothing at the back. Very plain. Alright. So it's more solid, that's all. And lastly is the Casket of Ancient Winters. Now I was hoping that this will have some sort of opening mechanism so that we can store this and this, but unfortunately no. Anyway, it's too small. It's just solid box with good sculpts. Look at those details, the textures there. You see that hat over there. So it's basically just good mold details with nice bronze color all over it. Okay, nothing much really, and it's very small. So I'm not going to bother scaling this up because it's just artifacts. Alright, so next is Howard the Duck. It's basically just a sculpt. Sorry, it's just a statue, no movement, no whatsoever. I'll just do a very quick scaling. This guy stands for about, let me see, I think roughly just below 2 inches tall. Okay, so about 1.9 something inch, probably around that. And sculpt is nice. It has to be nice because it's just a statue, but I wish they could have put a bit more articulation than this. I'm not sure if the paint on the eyes is a bit off. Is it supposed to be like that? I'm not sure on the character. I'm not really familiar, but I think this is the first time that they make Howard the Duck in this scale. Again, I wish they could have put a bit more articulation than this. Now, this is the pose that has been, I mean, this is the only pose. The detail on the paint is nice though. That's pretty much what we should expect from a statue. You can see the coloring on the tie here, and then nice button. You can see the paint. I think the paint is executed nicely, except that the eyes, I'm not sure if that's how it is supposed to be. The belt, okay, nice. The glove, sorry, not the glove, the hand and the feet. Quite rubbery on the feet area, and when it came out of the packaging, it's a bit leaning toward to the front, and it dropped easily when I tried to stand it up. So I tried to use what you call hair dryer treatment to fix it up. I think still doable, but you know, a bit frustrating at times. Okay, so on the hand here, quite rubbery but still very solid. So nothing, no articulation really. Again, just good sculpt and nice paint details. That's all. Okay, all right. And then we have Cosmo. Cosmo is also, oh, by the way, I already scanned it. Now we have Cosmo. Sorry about that. Cosmo is also just a statue, albeit he stands very well with those four legs. And I wish we could have a bit more articulation, at least the head. We know the Hasbro has been doing that with GI Joe figures. Otherwise, though, the figure is executed nicely. I think this is the first time they make Cosmo as well. The paint on the head is nice, it's superb. CCCP is painted there. I think it's just a paint. Now the textures or the wrinkles on the clothes and the mold on the tails is all nice. Quite rubbery on the, what do you call this, the legs. Yeah, it's basically just, a statue, just like, those uh, animal statues that you have on the at the toy stores for kids. So I wish we could have more than that, really. Otherwise the paint is executed nicely and it stands very well. Let's just scale him up a little bit. The height is roughly to the top of his head about 2 inch, but if you count this piece here of the helmet is about 2 I think 2.2 inch, around that, probably. Yeah, around that. 2.25, just below that. 2.15. Alright, anyway, nothing much really. Oh, the length is to the front of his head is almost 4 inch. Sorry, it's about 3 3/4 inch. Okay, around that. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Oh well. Now, sorry, Lockjaw. Lockjaw is quite big, and I think this is among the highlight of this box set for me personally. The mold is very nice. Let's take a look from the head first. Ooh, look at that! And I love dogs. So this is a plus for me. Look at those eyes. Look at those details on the mouth. Sorry, you can actually open this. So as the name suggests, it is locked to its jaw. I mean the articulation. But the paint on the teeth is nice. The mouth is nice. Just that there's a bit of. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like this. I think the black should be more around this area, but otherwise it's okay. But it's really nice. The paint here is really nice. The shadings, the wrinkles on his face is all molded. The fading blue to white here, kind of rubbery, but I don't suggest you to play with it. The what do you call this? Oh, the ears. The ears seems to be on a separate piece. If you see those gaps, it seems to be plugged in there just like that. Just want to repeat again, the articulation is only on the mouth, so you can somewhat. On mine is a bit loose, but it's still able to close somewhat. Okay, yep, but it's quite loose. Okay. So again, the head is very nice. No other articulation whatsoever. However, if you notice on each piece of the legs, it has a noticeable gap on here, yep, even here on the other side as well, and here there's a bit of movement. It seems that, I think with this scale, Hasbro is supposed to be able to put more articulation, but they don't. Okay, that sucks. There's a bit more detail on the nails there. Oh, sorry, just painted black basically, but overall they even put different colorings on the body here, so that's nice, just like a real dog. Very cool. It's just I hope I wish they could have put more articulation because it's quite big. It's bigger than a 3 3/4 inch figure standard, so they could have make more articulation to the sky, but they don't because they want to make more money. Down there, nice. Okay, good thing is this dog only loves to teleport, so running is not an option. Silly. That's nice as well. Nice mold, nice paint with more articulation. So good execution on the face. Blah. Right. Now Moon Boy. Not really familiar with the characters, but it's very interesting. Not my favorite. Lockjaw is my most favorite, but still quite a highlight. It is because I hope it's visible on the camera, this whole body, they're using this sort of material, which I call corduroy. Corduroy, yeah. This is what normally is being used in shoes, in clothings. So it's very interesting. Some sort of sweat feels there, but yeah, so it's very interesting that they use this. I think it's something new for me in a action figure experience. I'm not sure how it will last in the future, and I'm not sure, but it feels interesting. It's just something new. Okay, on the mold on the head is okay, smiling. The execution is nice actually. The mold on the hairy part here is nice as well. I'm not really familiar with the characters, but it's okay, I guess. The paint on the eyes is superb. On the teeth is superb as well. Okay. Now all across the body again is coated with this corduroy piece, soft goods. The arms is so it only goes to the wrist, but so up to here, but the wrist is all molded plastic all over again with a bit of blue touch there with the skin color. Same on the other side, and then also the feet, it only goes to this side around that, and then below here, including the hinge there, is plastic. Okay, with the blue and skin color. Thank God there's a bit of articulation. The head has a ball joint, so you can rotate it around 360. It's a bit stiff, so I'm not going to do full rotation, but you know it's there. Not much up and down, but it's there. Very little, really, barely nothing, but at least you can move. The hand is on ball joint on this side and that side, so you can move it upward that much. Okay, you can do a full rotation. Yep. And you don't have anything on the bicep, on the elbow, but you do have rotation on the wrist. Let me check if there's any hinge. No. The same on the other side. You can have this stretch to the back that much. Okay, not bad, I guess, for this scale. You have rotation. Now the leg is on a ball joint with a bit of a gap there, so you can have this much of a split. Not so bad. You can have that much of a front kick. Back kick is hindered, but it doesn't have knee joints, so that's the drawbacks. We do have ankle pivot though, despite the figure being small. Look at that, side to side, and then we have up and down hinges. Good range actually. Okay, so it's not so bad, but oh well, a bit of leg articulation will be cool. Let's see how this figure scale up. Oh, by the way, this figure can stand up very easily. because of the ankle pivot. This figure stands for about 2.5 inches tall. 2.5 inches tall, so quite small. Alright, and lastly we have the collectors himself. Moon Boy was new. I think the only Moon Boy in the scale. And then this collectors is also new. I think all the figures here are new. However, there's been an announcement this year that the collectors will be re-released as a 2-pack game series or something like that. I don't remember if there's any paint difference, but we'll see when it's being released. Okay. Anyway, it's good news for you guys if you want to have this figure. The head is actually executed very nicely. The mold is very nice actually, and even the paint on the head is executed very well. The paint on the eyes is tidy. It's very neat. Okay, the paint on the eyes is neat as well. So it's good to have this QC on 2016. I know the paints on the cloak or robe, whatever you want to call it, is on a separate piece, so you can take it out. Just take out the head and you can take this out, but I'm not going to do it. It's quite rubbery. Okay, the mold detail is nice and it's rubbery. Okay, you can take it out if you want to. I can feel the textures at the back. It's a bit of textures. Ooh, very interesting. Right. Okay. I like the red piece here of the jewel. Nice. Okay, the paint and the mold on the body is standard, I guess. It's pretty much dark, shiny black with a bit of gold linings here and there. The glove is standard, also glowing. I mean, kind of a gold color. The right is a punch, the left is a grabbing hand. Now this piece is also a separate piece, the belt and what do you call this? I'm not sure what this is called. Basically, this is a piece of rubbery. You can take it out, I think, if you want to. Kind of a separate piece, kind of move around as well, but it's okay. The mold is nice. The paint is executed nicely as well. You see this metallic gold, very nice, very shiny, and this reddish, I'm not sure what it's called. Okay, and the paint on the now it's quite a bug. It's quite frustrating to see that the joint is very visible there. I wish they could have painted black or something. So it's kind of weird, but it's not visible because of this piece. Thank goodness because of that. I wish they could have do something about it. And by the way, the joint is quite stiff. I had to use a bit of hair dry treatment to kind of break the joints. So the leg here is similar to what we have on the body, just black with gold linings, and the boot is the same with the gloves, gold metallic with a bit of linings here. Down there, nothing much. Okay, so yeah. For the articulation, the head is on ball joint, so you can have full rotation even with this piece on. Up and down a little bit, I guess. Yep, you can move up a little bit more. That's cool. The diaphragm have full rotation. It's a bit loose on mine. Oops, we can have it a bit leaning to the front, to the back. Not so much, but it's there. Side to side, not really. The arm here is on a ball hinge joint, so you can move outward this much, and by adjusting the hinge you can move it to the back like that and do all kinds of ball hinge motion, full rotation as well. The bicep does have full rotation. Okay, the elbow this much, you can bend this much, but there's no articulation on the wrist, not even on the gloves. It's molded into one piece, so you cannot, the only way to rotate is through the bicep. Sad. Okay. Same thing over here. Now down below we have a ball joint on the legs there. Like I said, it's noticeable because the color is kind of gold or yellow there. The thing is, the only split extension that I can do is this much. Okay, very limiting. We have this much of a front kick, back kick not so much, hindered, so quite limited. We have rotation on the thigh here. We have double jointed knee, although it is hindered because of the mold here, but it's still 90 degrees, a bit more actually, so kind of sad. Luckily we still have ankle pivot and downward and upward motion, not so much, but it's there. Okay, so because of that the figure can stand very easily still. That's good. Let's just measure this guy up very quickly. To the top of his head, he stands a bit more than 4-inch scale, so about 4.1/4 inch around it. Okay, just to give an idea to how this figure is compared side to side with the other figure lines. This is short run from Indiana Jones. Purposely put a small figures there. This is Iron Man Marvel Universe. I think this is a Star Wars figures, and this is a G.I. Joe. Now, the collectors is quite tall, I think, for the scale. Just to give you an idea as well, that Hasbro has all the means to put articulation on a small figure if they want to, right? Same amount of articulation with Wicked here, so Moon Boy is okay, I guess. But I think they still can do articulation. I mean, I think they are able to put in what we call ankle, sorry, a bit more if they want to. To give you the idea, this is, look at that, Howard. This is Lockjaw compared side to side with Cashin. Okay, and then this is compared to, this is Cosmo compared to Cashin. Okay, good scale for Cosmo, I guess. And this is Snake Eyes, is even shorter than him. So among all this, Howard is the most frustrating because being a statue and being very difficult to stand, so you can just throw him out of the window. Cosmo can be better. I wish they could have put a bit more articulation on the head, a bit of ball hinge joints probably. Lockjaw is the highlight to me on this set. The collectors is just a figure. Lockjaw is nice, good paint and mold, but I wish they could have done a bit more articulation because of the scale. I mean, it's quite big of a figure. They should be able to put more ball hinge here, or hinge and swivels, and a bit of articulation on the ankles. They should have been able to do at least that, and a rotation on the head. A ball hinge would be nice, but instead it is locked on its jaw. Bah. Moon Boy is a pass because I think they put a bit the same amount of articulation. Anyway, the artifact is just statues. So if you are into cosmic characters in the scale just like me, I guess we don't have much of options unless you want to do custom figures. Otherwise, these are the options. Thank goodness the collectors will be released in a 2 package figures. It's already been showcased. But for Cosmo and Lockjaw, Moon Boy, I think you have to try to get them on the secondary market. If you're lucky, then some people probably want to sell them separately, so that's great if you want. Because for a box set, for an exclusive box set, the price in my country is not that cheap, really. And to get this much, kind of sad, really, kind of sad. So I wish to get a bit more than this, and the artifact is just meh, really. Oh well, the Lockjaw, I like this. Oh, the corduroy material is kind of interesting on Moon Boy, but aside from that, the character is not really. I'm not really familiar with the character, but figure wise it's okay, I guess. So thanks guys for watching. I'm Austin from a boy at heart. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Goodbye.